She was already ahead before he even knew the race had started. He runs as hard as his tiny legs will carry him, but the gap grows with every step. She doesn't look back, and somewhere in that distance, he starts to understand what's at stake. He's pushing too hard, too fast, and the ground has other plans. For one perfect, terrible moment, he is completely airborne, and not in a good way. He hits the ground, the world keeps moving, and not a single soul stops to check on him. The ground is cold, and the world is indifferent, and for a moment he just lies there. Something shifts behind his eye, not hope exactly, but something that refuses to accept defeat. He raises his head, squares his beak, and decides that falling down doesn't mean staying down. He stands up and looks at what's in front of him, a living maze with no clear path through. He pushes forward anyway, threading between legs and wings that don't move for him. The crowd closes around him like water, and the sky above shrinks to a narrow strip of gray. She moves with the absolute confidence of someone who has never once considered stopping. She doesn't look back, not because she doesn't care, but because she never needed to before. She pauses for a moment, and he is still coming, still there, still trying, still hurts. He starts again, not because it's easy, but because the alternative is an empty stomach. This isn't just running anymore. This is every calorie he has left converted into forward motion. The crowd thickens, the path narrows, and he keeps moving because he has no other choice. He rounds a corner and walks straight into the most unhelpful animal on the continent. The adult has found something fascinating in the middle distance, something that, judging by its expression, doesn't actually exist. He squeezes past without a word, and the adult, of course, never notices he was there at all. Whatever this bird was thinking before it stopped, it has long since moved on to thinking about nothing at all. The world is happening all around it. It has simply chosen not to participate. It comes back to itself, walks away with total confidence, and the only creature it has inconvenienced doesn't even register as a memory. From up here, what looked like chaos begins to reveal its true shape. Hundreds of birds spread across the ground below, and somewhere in the middle of all of them, one small gray dot is the only thing moving with purpose. The ocean sits at the edge of everything, close enough to see and completely out of reach, and between it and them lies something that has to be endured before it can be crossed. He stops in the middle of the crowd, and the crowd moves around him like he isn't there. He turns one way and then the other, searching for a shape he knows better than anything else in this world. Then he sees her, a flash of orange in the gray, and his whole body points toward it like a compass finding north. There is a bird standing at the edge of the colony that looks like it is falling apart. And in a way, it is. What looks like damage is actually a transformation happening from the inside out. Old feathers lifting away as something newer and stronger pushes through from beneath. It doesn't look like becoming, but that is exactly what it is. The ground here tells a story that the air above it doesn't. Every feather lying between these stones was carried here by something that didn't need it anymore, and through the middle of all of it, one set of small pink feet moves differently from every other pair, because they know exactly where they are going. The whole colony stretches out in every direction, and every single creature in it is in the middle of something hard. One is almost through it, another is just beginning, and between them the ground is covered in everything they have shed to get here. And through it all, one small gray figure keeps moving, not because it understands the bigger picture, but because it only needs to understand the next few steps. He slows down when he sees the obstacle ahead, because this time he is learning to think before he moves. He picks his way through with a precision that wasn't there before, placing each foot carefully between the tired bodies and the outstretched wings. He wobbles, nearly goes down again, catches himself without breaking stride, and keeps going as if falling was never really an option. The ground at this scale tells you everything about the journey that the wide shot cannot. To small feet moving through a field of shed feathers, and around them, everything else is still. And then, in the background, barely in focus, but unmistakably there, a larger pair of feet standing quietly, waiting without knowing it is waiting. He comes around the last of them, and there she is, standing still for the first time, and he is close enough now that it feels real. He moves toward her, and the distance between them, which has defined every moment of this story, begins to close. The sun finds them both at the same moment, and for the first time since this began, they are in the same light. He reaches her side and presses against her, and she doesn't move away. She looks down at him, just once, and that small acknowledgement carries more weight than anything that has happened in the last 10 minutes. He closes his eyes, and the thing that has been driving him forward since the very first frame finally quietly, "Let's go." She lowers her head and he raises his. And what happens next is the oldest transaction in nature. She gives him what he crossed the entire colony to find, and he takes it with every part of himself. When it is over, he leans against her again, not out of need this time, but out of something that doesn't have a name, but doesn't need one. The colony settles into itself as the light begins to soften at the edges of the sky. Every creature here is between one version of itself and the next, waiting in the only way animals know how, by simply continuing to exist until the waiting is done. 3 more weeks before any of them can go back to the sea, and the sea will still be there, and so will they. He is there somewhere in the middle of all of this, small and gray and still, indistinguishable now from the rest of them. What felt like his story was always a part of a much larger one, playing out across every creature on this ground at the same time, in the same cold air, under the same pale sky. Everyone here is getting through something, and everyone here is doing it the same way. One step, one stumble, one small act of not giving up at a time. He made it, not gracefully, not without falling, not without losing her in the crowd, not without walking into a bird that had completely forgotten how to be a bird, not without getting back up from a fall that nobody witnessed and nobody applauded. But he made it, and here is the thing about this colony that you almost missed. The thing hidden in plain sight across every feather on this ground. Every single creature here is in the middle of something. The adults standing still aren't lazy. They're not lost. They're burning through the last of what they have so that something new can take its place. For 3 weeks, none of them can eat. None of them can swim. The ocean is right there, and it might as well be a world away. So they stand, they shed, they endure, they become. The chick didn't know any of that when he started running. He only knew one thing. She had the food, and she was getting further away, and the distance between them was the only problem that mattered. But maybe that's enough. Maybe you don't need to understand the whole picture to keep moving through it. Maybe the only thing required is the next step, and then the one after that, and then getting back up when the ground takes you by surprise. He is resting now, pressed against her side, somewhere in the middle of a colony that is quietly, collectively, becoming new. He is full. He is still. He is exactly where he was trying to get to, and outside the edges of this frame, the ocean waits cold and patient and full of everything they will need for the day. This colony finishes the hard work of transformation and walks back into it together. They'll get there. They always do, one stumble at a time.